Welcome to the Know Yourself channel, where making astrology known and understandable is the #1 priority. I'm the Scottish astrologer, and in this video I'm going to talk about astrology and the human brain. Okay, if you take a look on screen, you will see what is called an astro-phrenological chart, which shows the general planetary influences upon the human brain. Now, as you can see, the human brain on this chart has been separated into 7 different sections, which control 7 different functions of the brain. And as you can see, they are ruled by different planets. Okay, an individual planet or a pair of planets, okay, can make up a part. Now, basically what this is all about, as you can see, you have Mercury ruling perception, you have Saturn ruling reflectiveness, you have Jupiter and the Sun ruling moral sentiments, you have Venus and the Moon ruling semi-intellectual sentiments, you have Mars ruling selfish propensities, you have Saturn ruling selfish sentiments, and you have Venus and the Moon ruling domestic qualities, okay? So that's basically what it's down to. And what you do is you look on your birth chart and you see, for instance, how well placed Mercury is on your birth chart. So, like, if Mercury is in a house or a sign that it likes to be in, okay, your perception is going to be increased. Going to have stronger perception. If it's in a sign or a house that it does not like being in, okay, then you're going to get the opposite effects, okay? Going to have a more sluggish perception rather than great perception, had Mercury been well placed, just for an example. Okay, I'm going to read a few more, basically, things that each of these planets govern, okay, on top of Saturn, for instance, ruling reflectiveness. Saturn governs activities of the reflective, meditative, and the purely selfish sentiments, okay, such as comparison, causality, and causality just means the relationship between cause and effect, or the principle that everything has a cause, okay. Covetousness, and that means greedy or strong desire for material possessions, or a strong desire for the possessions that other people possess, okay. Also it rules acquisitiveness, okay, which means excessive interest in acquiring money and material possessions, okay, and it also controls secrecy, right. Moving on, the planet Jupiter. Jupiter governs those activities which in their expression show to us the truly noble and generous side of human nature, such as benevolence, veneration, which means having great respect, also spirituality and hope. Okay, moving on to Mars. Mars has the chief rule of those activities which generally express themselves as selfishly aggressive. Properly, they are the passions which reveal to us the animal side, okay, which resides in an active or semi-passive state within each human soul, upon the material plane of external life, okay. They are known as alimentiveness, okay, and that just means having a strong appetite, destructiveness, combativeness, and the sexual propensities, also vitativeness, which is the love of life and the fear of death, and the instinct for self-preservation, okay, and also construction. So moving on, the Sun. The Sun has the chief control of the activities which express himself in man's higher nature as the Lord of material creation. They comprise the commanding and dignified elements within us, such as firmness, conscientiousness, which means being careful or vigilant, very organised, a desire to do a task well, okay. Also pride, approbativeness, which means esteem, ambition and superiority. Also self-esteem as well is another thing the sun governs. Moving on, the planet Venus, okay, Venus governs those faculties whose activities express themselves as friendship, mirthfulness, okay, which means full of humour or laughter, and conjugality, okay. What else? It also governs the organs of inhabitiveness, okay, and those which tend to form agreeable society. Now, inhabitiveness just means a propensity to remain permanently in the same place or residence, okay, someone who doesn't like to move, doesn't like change too much. Okay, moving on, the planet Mercury. Mercury, in addition to being the messenger of the gods, rules the activities which are purely intellectual and mechanical, such as eventuality, individuality, size, form, weight, colour, order, calculation and language, okay? Now, last but not least, we have the moon, which governs those organs whose activities are termed the semi-intellectual qualities. They are very desirable expressions of character, such as time, tune, ideality and sublimity. The moon also has influence over domestic qualities, okay? Now, basically, give you some further detail on this. Look at your own natal chart, obviously paying attention to this astro-phrenological chart. So, taking that in mind, look at your natal chart and have a look where all your planets are positioned, okay? And see if they're placed well, okay, in a house or sign. For instance, Mars would like to be in Aries, you know what I'm saying? It would not like to be in Libra. So, like, that's how it goes. If Mars is in a sign it likes, you get the good qualities of the area of the brain it represents, okay? If it's in a sign or house it does not like being in, you get sluggish or bad qualities. Now, on top of that, you need to take into account aspects. Is this particular planet aspected well or aspected badly? Is it an evil aspect or a good aspect, you know? Is it being squared or opposed, which is bad and evil? Or is it in a sextile or trine, which is harmonious and good? So you need to take that into account. So for example, you could have Mercury in Gemini, so it's in its house, it loves being there. So you're going to get great qualities, okay? Great perceptive qualities. And like, you'll be very cunning, very intellectual. All of that, all the qualities of Mercury, you'll have the best of them. But as it is badly, evilly aspected, you will use those qualities towards bad things, such as crime, for instance. You'll use all your Mercury skills, intellect, cunningness, wittiness, all that, towards crime, towards doing something that is wrong, okay? So you use good qualities towards something that is bad, if the planet is in a place it likes being, but is badly aspected. And the opposite is true if the planet is well aspected, but in a sign or house it does not like being in, okay? So, yeah, you should really check this out for yourselves. Very interesting aspect to astrology with the human brain, okay? Like, taking in mind everything is only in general, okay? Because, like, I say to you that Mercury rules perception, which is true. Mercury is the chief ruler of perception, but every other planet has a minor input into your perception, you know? So, like, as I'm saying, this is all just in general. On top of that, you need to take the full natal chart into account, okay? Because you could have Mercury well placed, badly aspected, but other things could come into play. It could be conjunct by another planet, you know? It could be aspected good, and aspected bad. It can be aspected by a planet say it's friends with, it can be aspected by a planet it's enemies with. There's a lot more you need to take into consideration on a natal chart. So keep in mind, all this information is in general, but you will find it is very accurate. Like myself, looking at my chart, seeing where all my well-placed planets are, and aspects to them, and linking it up with what this chart is showing you, it's very accurate indeed. Okay, so I've tested this out before I would actually make a video and share this information. The image you see on screen, the astro-phrenological chart, this comes from a great book called The Light of Egypt that I recommend everybody have a read. And it's by a great mind of the 1800s, a man called Thomas H. Burgoyne. One of the original Scottish astrologers, astrologers from Scotland, pretty decent, good knowledge he has to share, so I'd recommend everybody have a read of the book, The Light of Egypt. It's a true gem, it's filled with great information. I'm sure everyone will enjoy it, or take a lot from it, or learn a lot from it, okay? So, thank you guys, thank you for watching this video, hope you liked it. If you do, please give the video a like, it truly helps me out. Boost the video in the ratings, give it a comment if you want. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please do not forget to hit the bell at the right hand side of the subscribe button. Okay guys, take care, thank you.